Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Four Wide with Declan. As always, we will discuss NASCAR-related topics, so let's get right into it. Our first topic is NASCAR is trying to get a race in Bowman Gray Stadium. So I talked about, I think it might have been last week, maybe even the week before, or sometime in the past this season, I talked about there was maybe possibility for a NASCAR race inside of Dodger Stadium making up for the Clash. Now, maybe the Clash or even a points race might even be, maybe the Clash or the All-Star, maybe even a points race might be held inside of the Bowman Gray Stadium. In the NASCAR world, Bowman Gray Stadium is well known for having some of the most chaotic late model moments and some of the most chaotic moments in late models. NASCAR actually did a test with the next gen here a couple years ago, and the results were pretty good. And so they're looking to get a race, an agreement with the city of Winston-Salem to get a race inside of Bowman Gray Stadium. Our second topic is the tire debacle that happened with Sunday's Cup race. So if you watch Sunday's Cup race, you know they thought it would just be a normal tire mileage Bristol race, but they were completely wrong. Turned out to be the race with one of the worst tire wears since the 2008 Brickyard 400. Well, thankfully this wasn't as bad as the 2008 Brickyard 400 because the tires didn't blow out every 10 laps. But every 50 or so laps, the tires would get bald, and you'd have to come down pit lane. That's why during the race, Goodyear was trying to get an extra set of tires that was. Of the tires that were already given out, Goodyear was trying to get an extra set in to make sure all the teams had enough tires to make it the rest of the race. So an unexpected wave of green flag pit stops happened with about 50 or so laps to go. And whenever you pitted, it felt like a video game on easy mode whenever you got back out there with new tires when everyone else was still on old tires. All the drivers that were on new tires were just flying past the drivers on old tires. And a bunch of drivers got lapped, and a couple incidents were even caused by tires. Most notably Kyle Busch, who spun backwards at the end of Stage 1 due to a blown tire, and proceeded to drive in reverse all the way to turn 3, like classic Kyle Busch would, and spin it back. He spun it back around because he didn't want to lose another lap. He was already one lap down. And now our final topic is the race predictions. So personally, I think to win the cup race this weekend, I have some drivers like Shane Van Gisbergen, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, some drivers that are pretty good on the road. Chase Elliott might be able to make his resurgence here at Circuit of the Americas. Ross Chastain won here 2 seasons ago. And now your big shot Bobs. No, now your a long shot of the week brought to you by Original Big Shot Bobs. We have AJ Allmendinger. Allmendinger, we know his road racing abilities. He might even be considered a favorite, but in my mind, he's driving a third colleague car, which obviously isn't a top 5 running car, but it's still pretty good when you put someone pretty talented behind the wheel. He can do good things. We saw what he did back in 2021 at the Indy Road Course. Got that unbelievable upset win. And now Colleague is running 3 cars, I mentioned. The 16, which is driven by rotating drivers this year. Well, Shane Van Gisbergen will make his first start of the season in that 16 car. And I also have him as a guy to look out for this weekend. We saw what he could do at Chicago last year, and he also had a top 10 run at Indy later in the year. Now for the Xfinity Series, I have some pretty good road racers. Cole Custer, AJ Allmendinger, AJ Allmendinger. I'm picking AJ Allmendinger to win the Focused Health 250 at Circuit of the Americas this weekend. And now for the Truck Series. There's some road racers there's some drivers like Corey Heim, Ben Rhodes. Corey Heim won at Mid-Ohio last summer, so he should be a guy to look out for this weekend at COTA. Ross Chastain's in the field, driving the 45 truck for Nice. He's a guy that I'm looking out for. And a long shot for the Truck Series, I have Lane Riggs. That 38 truck for Front Row Motorsports is 3-0 in the 3 COTA races. Todd Gilliland won back in 2021, and Zane Smith has won the past 2 years. So Lane Riggs is a long shot for the Truck Series. And that does it for this week on 4 Wide with Declan. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and bye for now.